Hey everyone, this is Tiberius, the queer and confused crafter, confused because I have no idea what's going on. Today we are going to be making some tags out of some scraps because we're continuing to go through my giant pile of scraps that I'm too stubborn to put in recycling yet. I will. I will after we finish the next 5 ideas that I have to use up scraps. Or maybe I have 6 ideas. I have 5 or 6 ideas. And then we're going to be done with it, and then I promise I'll put it in recycling. But these are from the Dollar Tree. You can buy, like, I think they come in packs of 10 for $1. And I use these because I don't have a tag punch and I'm lazy. And I just think it's really easy to randomly glue stuff to these versus trying to, cut out a tag out of paper and measuring it. I have a tag hole punch, but it makes 3 different sizes of tags and none of them are the right size for me. I like this size. So, let's get into it. Right. I'm going to be first I'm going to take the strings off of these. Because you can't really, glue it with the strings on. And I'm only going to do 4 today. Because I don't want to make a video that's too long. Because that's why I had trouble and it took 8 hours to upload the video yesterday. Because it was like 57 minutes long, so I had to speed it up by like 1.5 speed. And yeah. So that was not very fun. Let's see, what do we got? We got this. Oh, it's even prettier on this side. That could be nice. Yeah, that could be really nice. Let's see. Let's see if we can find another good scrap to go with that. I want something that's a little plain. That's too bright. That's too much going on. I don't want a simple book page, though. I want something with a little something going on. No, that's not right. That doesn't feel right. Maybe this yellow right here. Cut out this yellow. It's at the bottom of the... Oh, it's a little heart. I think this was when I was making little valentines. Or I was making something heart-shaped, for sure, obviously. We're just gonna go through and get that yellow, as my granny would say. Oh, that's a cool contrast right there. Yeah, I kind of like that. So I'm gonna cut it like that. And then there's just like a little piece like right there that's exposed. So I'm gonna make sure it covers that. And we're just going to be pressing down in no particular order the scraps, just however we like it. We're just gonna see how we like it before we glue it down. And also, my mic died, so this is me dubbing over it, and I did not know my mic died until I went to edit the footage, and it was silent through half the video. So that was nice. I think it's just every time I brag about having a non-chaotic tutorial, everything turns to chaos. So I just take my glue stick and I spread glue all over the tag. I'm using, once again, my favorite glue stick, which is the Craft Bond Extra Strength Elmer's glue stick. If you guys have a recommendation for other glue sticks I should try, let me know. I've only used, I think, 3 different glues at this point. I've used the Fabri-Tac, the Elmer's glue. I've used the purple Elmer's glue, which is just terrible. And I've used the Dollar Tree glue, and the Dollar Tree glue is okay. And I've used the Dollar Tree liquid glue, the Jot. I actually really like the Jot. Yeah, I'm just assembling things in the order which I think is pretty, and putting everything down. I'm still very frustrated that my microphone was off. This might be another video where I kind of complain the whole time. I had some clever quips in here too, and I don't remember any of them. So that is unfortunate for you all. Hopefully I can still remain entertaining. I feel like I worked so slow. Like, watching this in hindsight, I feel like I'm going so slow. Maybe I need to work on speed. Maybe that's why my videos are so long. After you finish gluing everything down, you're gonna flip it over. Careful not to get glue on the table, because if you do, it might peel up some of the scraps. But you're gonna flip it over, and then you're going to cut around it. Where the outline of the tag is. That's why I use the Dollar Tree tags
entire time,
so I can keep the shape of it.
Anyway, got my detail scissors
I find
now.
it easier than trying to cut a tag shape out by itself.
I'm just gonna cut this
partially out of just sheer laziness, and the fact I have said it many times, I can't do anything straight. Like, I'll cut one side of the tag, and then I'll notice it's not even with the other side of the tag, and so I'll cut the other side of the tag to make it even with the other side, and then it just repeats the process until I don't even have a tag anymore. I just have a triangle. So that's why I buy pre-made tags. And I do have a tag hole punch that makes 3 different sizes of tags
or something right there. Let's see.
But I don't know what I'm going to use the little size for,
because I feel like I'd rather use that
feels really useless.
And I am putting these scraps into recycling,
and
so I'm not that bad.
I'm not a fan, but I may use it in a video coming up.
Let's see.
I think I'm going to do a hole punch video. Also, this might be the last scrap video I do for a while. I might do one more scrap video tomorrow. Well, I'm going to film it today, but I'll probably upload tomorrow. But I think you guys are probably getting bored with scraps at this point. So I'll work on something else. I just don't know what yet. So definitely keep an eye out for. I decided to stamp this up, and it took me a minute to. I need to start laying all the supplies that I think I'm going to use on my craft table. It's just I'm very organized, which I might actually show you guys my setup next video. I'll make a little clip, and I'll show you guys my setup. But I like to be organized, and sometimes that's a problem. Like right now, when it takes me like 10 minutes to dig and find a couple stamps, but I felt like this really needed a word stamp. And also I thought about inking up the individual layers that I put on this tag after I'd already assembled it, which is a problem for me. I I either over ink or I don't ink at all, or I just don't think about inking. I just haven't mastered it yet, but I am working on it. So we're learning together, and I think that's fun. You guys don't come here for someone who knows what they're doing. You come here for the chaos, and you stay for the charisma. Also, I had way more word stamps than I thought, but simultaneously, I don't have that many. And it took me a minute to decide. Let me think of what I went with. Hold on, I have the tags right here. I ended up going with Bliss. Also, the tag looks so much prettier in person. I'll probably, well, not probably, I will upload the pictures of these to my Instagram. Because they're really nice. So, y'all let me know down in the comments once I get all these done which one you like best. I decided to just use my cheapy ink since we're just stamping words instead of my Distress ink by Tim Holtz, because that stuff is really expensive. It costs I think I spent almost $12 on a pack of 4 of the little packets of the ink. And yeah, that's a little expensive for me. So I'm kind of trying to make those last as long as I can. And I feel like the cheapy ink gets the job done. It's, in case anybody's curious, it is the ultra washable ink pad. It's by Hampton Art. It's child safe, non-toxic. And it does come out really easy. So anytime I get on my desk, it wipes right up. It wipes really good off my stamps. I really like it just because it's so easy to clean up. And I have a noticed problem with it coming off pages, but it does take a good minute for it to dry. So that's a downside. Oh, and the good thing about these tags is they don't get punched right in the middle for some, well, because it's Dollar Tree. It's Dollar Tree, so they don't come punched right in the middle. But since you're covering it and collaging it, now is your opportunity to cover it in the middle. Not to cover it in the middle, but to punch it in the middle. And I tried in vain to punch it directly in the middle. I think I got it on the first one really well, sorta, just about. Almost. I'm looking at it now. Almost got it in the middle. It's actually a lot harder to get in the middle than I thought it would be. But I did get it more in the middle than the original hole was, because the original holes are just way off center. But I did pretty good on all of them. I make 4 of these in total. The ones with the round edges are a lot harder to cut out than the ones that are just to have the slanted edges. So be warned about that. The second one I made is the only one I got on center, or the closest one I got to center. And I think my favorite is, well, I'll tell you my favorite once we get to it. As you can tell, I like a lot of color. I don't do really vintage stuff because it's just shades of beige, and beige is so boring. It's like the most boring color. It's so plain. It could be any color, and it has to be beige or some shade of brown, and I hate just white, just plain white. And I hate that my setup here is white. I really want to paint it, but it would be a pain to do that because I would have to completely remove everything that I have in my space to paint it. But we're just repeating the process. Sorry, back to the tags. We're just repeating the process that we did on the first one, and we're just kind of collaging to, excuse me, to make everything, see how everything goes together. Moving the pieces around till I feel like I got it right. And ended up using that really pretty pink for this one, which was a heart. Had a heart cut out of it. I might have used it for Valentine's Day. Who knows what I used it for? I did make a bunch of Valentine's Day cards that I was hoping would sell, but none of them did. But they were very pretty, and everybody liked them, just not enough to buy them. And here I decided that they needed to be balanced. This needed to be balanced out, because that was the one thing I learned from the art class that I took. It was abstract art, and I learned that when you're working with color, when you're working with abstracts, if you have color in one spot, you need to have color in the opposite location that's the same as the other color, just so it balances out and it feels like it makes sense. Like, things have to be chaotic, but also patterned at the same time. It's really hard to explain. I can't explain it as well as my instructor did. Which, funnily enough, I actually took my art class when I was homeless. And I was so mad that they had an art instructor come in, because I was like, man, I need to find a job, not do art. And then I ended up really liking art. And it felt good for my brain just to have an activity that makes you feel human again, because when you're homeless, you don't feel always like a person, just because of the way people treat you and the way society acts around you. Like, it's really nice to occasionally have things that make you feel like a person again, if that makes any sense. And this is just me cutting around it again, and I do have some difficulty. I apologize for pulling it out of the shot. I'm really bad about that. But in my defense, I have terrible vision, and I needed to get up and close and personal to see the rounded edges. But yeah, it's just me cutting it out. And I did decide to ink this one. And I inked the next 3, actually, because I didn't ink the first one. So I had to overcompensate by inking all the others. I really liked the way this one turned out, but I like it, but I don't like it at the same time. You ever have something that you're like, yeah, I like this, but I don't love this? You know? Like when you're going clothing shopping and you're like, yeah, this is a nice top, but then you bring it home and then you never wear it. Has that happened to anybody else? Like, I got this really nice coat at Goodwill once, and I was like, oh yeah, this will be great. And I bought it, and I think I wore it twice, but I felt like it made me look funny, and I never wore it again. But it looked great at the store. It looked great at Goodwill. But once I got home, it was like, nah, I don't care for this. But I like this. Don't get me wrong, I like this. I just think the ink I chose maybe was a bit dark, a bit harsh for what it was, but it did look nice at the end. I'm just not in love with it. But what I went with was, let me pull it out so I can make sure to give you guys the right name, because I will not remember off the top of my head. Here it is. I went with Salty Ocean Distress Ink, and I almost went with Spackled Egg Distressed Ink, but ended up not doing that because I thought it was going to be too light. Now that I'm really looking at it, I think it would have been perfect. Uh, but you know, such is life. But I think in the end it came out pretty nice. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping a little bit. I'm still not feeling well. I told you guys earlier in the week I have colitis. I'm still not feeling well. They said I was gonna feel better in a couple days. I have still not felt better. Well, I mean I felt better, but I'm still not, better. Like I'm not all better. Like I was hoping I would be. But yeah, I go in and I stamp it with a rose right in the middle. And I never know how hard to press with rubber stamps or with stamps in general. Like, I feel like I have to press really hard, but I probably don't. But I feel like if I don't, I might not get enough ink. I don't know if that's a paranoia thing or if I just don't know how to stamp. I should Google that, how to properly stamp, and see, what that accomplishes. And I ended up doing it, and I just felt the rose looked too harsh on its own. So I inked the edges again with the salty ocean, which it's too blue to be the ocean. It should be more green if it's supposed to be salty ocean. Um, Maybe once upon a time the ocean was that blue, back before we, ruined the environment. But I've never seen an ocean look so blue. It's more like a sky blue. Like on a really clear summer's day when the sky's like right when the sun is coming up and it hits it just right, It's that kind of blue. Like it's beautiful. I love it, but I don't think salty ocean is the proper term. And I use cosmetic sponges for doing my ink. I'd probably be better off with daubers. I don't know if you use cosmetic sponges versus and you use daubers. Let me know which you like better. Because I'm curious and I'm thinking about getting a dauber maybe just to try out. Um, but they seem really expensive because they're like seven something for one dauber. That's what I've seen on Amazon at least. And I like it's not that I'm a cheapskate, it's that I'm poor. And most of my craft supplies are either things I found around my house, like junk mail and various paper, or there's something somebody gave me when they were cleaning out, their craft supplies. And they're like, here, I'm never going to use this, take it. And I always find a use for them. Like a lot of stuff I have is old stationery. Also, I found that I really like eBay because you can get a lot of paper goods really cheap there, like people just destashing. Um, this one right here, I was like, okay, I'll make a vintage one for you guys since you guys love vintage so much. But I actually ended up really, really liking this one because I used color on it and mixed with the vintage elements, and I think it came out great. I don't know if kids have been let out for summer, but I've been hearing kids outside my window just playing and screaming and hollering and carrying on. I don't like it. I like quiet. I wish I didn't live in an apartment complex. Man, I wish I didn't live in an I want a house with a yard for my dog. Um, like there were no kids in my complex, because I live in a college town, and there were no kids in my complex. until suddenly there were like a million kids just moved in all at once. It was really odd. I guess it's because they're cheap. They're the cheapest apartments you can get because there's lead paint in the walls. There's lead paint in the walls. There's only one air conditioner in the whole unit, and it's really crappy. It gets so hot in every room except the living room. They're really terrible apartments, but you you gotta live where you can afford to live. Unfortunately, that's a whole rant for another day. I feel like I'm talking about everything but the craft, but like I've already explained how you do the one, and once you know how to do the one, you know how to do them all. But I decided to stamp this one as well, and I used my Wish stamp again in the cheapy black ink. And I stamped it at the top, and then I used what little ink was left on the pad to stamp. I mean, I stamped the bottom at first, and then I used what little ink was left on the pad to stamp the top, and it gave a really cool faded kind of effect. Um, and then I inked it up around the outside with Distress ink, and I used. Oh, that's not the one I used. Hold on, I gotta find it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That is also not it. I actually have quite a few of these. I've amassed quite a few, but I feel like I still don't have enough. I don't have any of the colors I want. Cackling Campfire is what I outlined it with, and the sticker on top is a lie because it looks like a red color, but once you start inking with it, it's very orange. But it works really well for this piece. Wouldn't it be cool if these inks smelled like what they say they are? Well, some of the names, I'd be really concerned if they smelled like what they said they were. Like if Kitsch Flamingo smelled like flamingos, I'd be a little worried. But some of these, like Cackling Campfire, Fried Brick, or Salty Ocean, or Seedless Preserves, like that would be cool if they were scented. I miss scented stickers and stuff like that. I don't even know if they still make those. They were big in the 90s. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna see if I can find some off Amazon or scented markers. I feel like they probably got all recalled because they probably caused some kind of cancer or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. This is me going in with the Wish stamp, which I thought I already did. Apparently, I'm talking a lot faster than I'm crafting. I need to work on being faster in my crafting because these videos are long, 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 long. Um, Also, my mouth is getting incredibly dry from talking so fast. Oh, I should always bring my water with me, but I never think to bring my water with me until I get super dehydrated. And this was my favorite one actually. Out of all of them I did, this turned out to be my favorite, which is funny because I don't like the vintage look. Which I guess with adding the color, it didn't really have so much of a vintage look. But I think that it just came out nice. It was nice. Like it was a little understated, but it was still nice. My partner really liked it. Um the next one I did was a little bit difficult to do, and I got a lot of glue on my hands. I almost said hands on my glue. Sometimes I talk backwards or mess up words because my brain is actually going a lot faster than I can talk, and that's an ADHD thing. Um, which having ADHD is almost like a superpower, but it's also a hindrance. Because I can think really fast, and I can talk really fast, and I can go really fast, but at the same time, it's not fast enough. And I can't pay attention to anything because I have several trains of thoughts going on at once, unless I'm on my medication, in which I have only the one train of thought. But it's still really iffy because things do bounce from one train of thought to the other. But I'm not as bad as I was before the medication. Like, before the medication, you couldn't really hold a conversation with me because I would just zone out the entire conversation and be so lost and be so confused that I became the master of looking like I was communicating with you while having absolutely no idea what anyone was saying. So I was just like, yeah, that's cool. Because I learned when to interject with things but not have a conversation. And then I'd catch a couple words and then I'd interject with the story about whatever was referenced. And it seemed like I was paying attention. I've never paid attention. That's my dirty little secret, is I never paid attention because it was so hard for me. Also, my house used to be complete chaos. It used to not be organized at all, but now I'm super organized and everything has a place and I love it. Um everything stays in its place now, and I don't my desk does not amount to a giant pile of, like, chaos. It's not a black hole anymore where things get lost and I buy the same craft supply uh 50 times. That's why I have so many pens, because I kept buying pens because I could never find a pen. I really messed up on getting in the middle in this one. But you guys make sure you let me know in the comments which one you like the best. I know they're a bit hard to see, but you can always switch over to my Instagram, which I'm going to link that down below, and let me know which one you like best. That would be really awesome of you, because I like getting comments and likes and subscribes. I just like to know people are watching, though I'm not necessarily doing this so people watch. It's more of a, I want to know that I exist kind of thing, if that makes any sense. It's a, hey, I'm here kind of thing, because I don't really do anything at all. Like, I'm just kind of here because I'm disabled and I can't do a lot, but I can do something for a few hours a day, and this is what I do. Um, and I like having a little thing that says, hey, I'm here. And I love to make things. I've always really enjoyed making things. Um, and I'm a jack of all trades. I can paint, I can sew, I can do this. Uh, I paper craft. Well, that's this. I write. I sew. I upcycle things. I give random things makeovers. By the way, you can use any type of paper on this. The heart paper I'm using is wrapping paper that I had left over from something. I don't know what it was. Oh, I can also cross stitch. Um, I'm looking around at my desk trying to think of other projects I can do. Oh, I learned how to make paper the other day, so that was pretty fun. Oh, I also make soap. I've thought about getting into candle making, maybe, but it doesn't really interest me. Oh, I make wreaths too. I do Dollar Tree DIYs on occasion. I need to do another one. I actually have a really cool idea for a sign. And I still have all the Dollar Tree stuff I bought back around Easter that I need to use up. But I've been so caught up with paper crafting because it's been my hyper focus for a while and it's really stuck. I don't know if you guys enjoy the rambling or if you like me explaining more about what I'm doing. Also, let me know in the comments. I like feedback. Just make sure it's constructive and you're not being mean. Please. And if you have anything that you want to learn in another video, or you would like to see me try and potentially fail at, let me know. And, let's see. I gotta wait to dig through my pile before I pull it out. But what I end up using next is, this lace-looking thing. And it's actually the back of some washi tape. That was from some lace washi tape, but I just thought it looked so cool that I saved it. Because I save everything. Oh, I've already glued that down. This is a piece of a coffee cup. Excuse me. This is a piece of a coffee cup. The sleeve that they put on the coffee cup so you don't burn yourself when you hold it. And it just had a nice texture, and I thought it was cool. I'm trying to play with more textures because I haven't been super doing texture too much. Also, I think this might be, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I think this might be my last scrap video for at least a little bit, because I think you guys are getting tired of scraps. I think my next video, well, I wrote it all down. I think my next few videos might be on making flowers, because I came up with a really cool way to make a flower that I haven't seen before. And then I have like 4 different ways, or 3 different ways that I've seen flowers be made that you guys might not know about, or you just want to watch me try and make them. So that'll be fun. Probably gonna use old book pages for them, or I might use cardstock for one of them, or just to give an example of what it looks like versus, book pages. I actually like working with book pages when it comes to stuff like that, because it's more blank and it doesn't overcrowd a page, and you can use a lot more color on the page when you have just something simple like that with just a little bit of color. You can add more color to the rest of the page and it doesn't overcrowd it. And I think this is the one that I could not get the hole right, and I couldn't find the ribbon for it. I don't know what happened to the ribbon. Oh, hey, I see the ribbon. I'm a day late and $1 short, but I found the ribbon. I'll put that in before I take a picture. I still haven't cleaned my desk. I know you guys have probably been following the saga of me saying I need to clean my desk and then not cleaning it, because it has glue stuck to it, and the glue just looks gross, and it's got a little ink on it. Like, I actually need to get in here and thoroughly clean it. Sorry about that noise. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Also, I really messed up on the hole on this one. But yeah, still haven't cleaned it. I promise next video I will. Because today is cleaning day. I have nothing better to do. I have no excuses. No more excuses. Probably won't come up with an excuse, but I might, because I am still sick. See, I'm already trying to weasel my way out of it. It's just I don't like cleaning my desk because I don't want to disturb all the craft supplies, and I don't want to risk getting cleaning supplies on my craft supplies. Because, you spray it in the bottle and it can sometimes get everywhere. And I just don't want to risk that. Man, I move slow. And that's that one. And at first I was like, I'm gonna ink it up with the Kitsch Flamingo. But then I decided to go with the Seedless Preserves because it was a lot more color, and I ended up really liking it. I've said it before, but please let me know which one you guys like best in the comments down below. Oh, I'm still inking it. Oh my god, I go so slow. I'm gonna work on my timing and working faster. This is giving me motivation to work faster. I had no idea how slowly I worked until this video. Or maybe I just have the zoomies today. That's what I call it when my ADHD is making me go pretty fast. Is the zoomies. Like animals, they just run from one corner to the other, back and forth, back and forth. So, maybe that's what's going on, but I need to work on it because my videos are just coming out so long that I've had to edit so much on them. Just to cut time, because YouTube doesn't like videos over like 45 minutes long. And I don't think anybody likes videos that are 45 minutes long, because that's a lot to watch. It's just a lot to watch. I inked the back of this a little bit too, because I do like to have people to know they can write on the back of these, because I like to have lots of writing space when I'm making this particular type of junk journal, which I feel like it should have a specific name, because there's multiple types, and I don't know, do they have a name? The junky junk journals where it's just made with junk you find, or stuff like this, like tags, and then the other kind that's kind of collagey and you use lots of stickers and supplies. And then I guess there's really only the two kinds, really. I feel like they're both junk journals, like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like they need a specific category. Because I do both styles. I love both styles. I think they're all beautiful, but I've been stuck in this. Maybe it's just more vintage junk journal. I hate that word. Maybe it's just more vintage junk journal style. But also my lid would not stay on my purple, and it was really aggravating. And I went through my inks today, and it was still off. It it's just slightly cracked open. And I don't know what's going on with my purple. I don't know why it wants to be free, and because that's not good for it. It'll dry out. It's trying to run away and dry out and die. Please don't do that. You're expensive. And lastly, you just run the ribbon back through it, and you don't have to use the same ribbon that went through it. I actually have a bunch of ribbon that I could have chose to use instead of this, but I just used the ribbon that came with it because lazy, I guess. I'll probably change out some of the ribbon. Some of the ribbon will stay. I'll probably change out the ribbon on the reddish vintage one. I'll probably change that to either this brown twine that I have, or this red ribbon that I have. Maybe the red ribbon. No, I think the red might be too bright for it. But definitely something that goes better than what's on it. Because I recently traded somebody some beige and brown papers for just some random other supplies recently, and I got a bunch of cool things. I got some fabrics, which I've never used fabrics before, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying that. I have to figure out how. I'm a little intimidated, I'm not gonna lie. I'm taking forever again. So am I taking forever, or do you think this is in my imagination? Please also let me know down in the comments. Would be much appreciated. Appreciated? Yeah, appreciated. But let me know down in the comments. I've said this like 5 times already. Please let me know down in the comments which your favorite is. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest. I will link those all down below. Stay chaotic, you guys, and just enjoy the craft. Make whatever you want. I don't know what else to say. Y'all have a great day.